So today we're working on a 2011 Chevrolet Suburban, and it has a message on the dash: service suspension system. So I've done a network scan on the vehicle, and we have several codes. We have a left rear actuator circuit short to battery, left rear actuator circuit open circuit, right rear actuator circuit, and a device voltage fault. So we'll have a look at the wiring to the rear suspension components and see if we can see anything obvious. Well, there's definitely a problem with the rear shocks here. This left rear shock is blown out, and the electrical wires are broken off of the top of the shock sensor. So it needs both rear shocks. This side is blown out as well. I see the wires are plugged in up there, but I don't see... Yeah, the wires look to be plugged in. Well, I'm going to have to replace some shocks here to start with, and then go from there. This customer also complained about oil loss, so I'm having a look underneath here for oil leaks. I noticed the left axle seal is leaking slightly. So is the right side. Not major, but the only oil leak that I can see appears to be coming from the oil drain plug. There's no oil above it. As you can see, it's pretty dry above the drain plug. The back of the engine, it looks pretty dry, and the oil filter looks dry. I'm wondering if it's just the drain plug gasket that's leaking. The front of the crank is dry. The oil pan is dry all over the place, so I don't see any significant engine oil leaks other than the drain plug potentially. And I'll have a look and see if it's due for service. It might be wise just to drop the oil and put fresh oil and filter in it and start over again. So we're replacing the rear air shocks on this Suburban, and the connector going to the top of the shock was compromised. So this coolant temp sensor connector is the same pinout configuration. So I've wired in a used coolant temp sensor connector. I hope the other side's good because I don't have another one, at least not one that I know of. So I'm going to tape up this harness and install the new shock. So I got the rear shocks installed. The right rear shock was a little bit harder to get at because of the AC pipes. In both cases you have to remove the inner fender skirts to access the upper bolts. The connector on the right rear was okay. I just packed it full of dielectric grease and reconnected it. I cleared the codes. We're going to go in and see if there's any current codes, and there are none. And of course there are no history codes because I've erased them. Functional tests. We're going to try and run the compressor. I've got the key on, engine not running, so we should be able to hear it in here over my ceiling fan squeaking. Well, I heard the relay click on, but I don't hear the compressor running. Now with those blown shocks out of there, it's very possible that compressor motor is seized or compromised, because obviously the shocks were both leaking, and that could result in the compressor running for extended periods of time and burning itself up. But they don't work, so we're going to have to do some further testing and make sure the fuses are good. I would think though that if a fuse for the compressor was blown, it would have a fault code related to it, but the compressor is definitely not running. Let's try the exhaust valve. Yeah, I can hear it click on. I can hear it click on, so there's no air in the shocks, or only ambient air in the shocks. So these are the actuators inside the left front, right front, left rear, right front, and right rear shocks. Gonna have to look at a wiring diagram and find out where the fuses and circuit protection are for this. So we're on Identifix looking at the automatic level control compressor control circuit diagram. It takes power from a run crank relay, which should be energized anytime the vehicle is running and controlled by the BCM, and then the automatic level control relay is ground side controlled by the suspension control module, and there's the actual level control compressor. It's not running, but I'm pretty sure I can hear this relay clicking on. I'm going to go back into the diagnostic suite again and go into functional tests, compressor on off, and we'll listen carefully to see if we can hear that click when I click this button. Yes, I can. And off. And off. So we have to locate this compressor motor, which is right behind the left rear wheel, which means raising it up again. Thank God I didn't move the hoist. And have a look at this light blue wire to see if we're getting power to it. So there's where the level control compressor is housed. I pull this boot down and I look in here, and the actual compressor is actually destroyed. There's the housing. It's broken wide open. So it's not a wonder that the compressor doesn't run. It's going to need a whole new compressor. Lovely. So here's the compressor assembly from Dorman Solutions. Standard replacement square connector. I'm pretty sure this one had the square connector up there looking at the connector. Let's see what other pictures there are. Yeah, it had a square connector. So that's a complete assembly. Motor, compressor, the air lines connect right here. It's about $410 retail. With thermal switch OE fix, includes both round and square connectors. I'm going to find out what the difference is between these. This one looks like it's improved, but I'm not sure.